Now that we have Yarn installed, we can install Create React App. So I'm navigating to my desktop, and then if I type in Yarn Create React App, and with the name of my project, which would be Hello Create React App, that will create a folder on my desktop using the React App project, and it's going to name it Hello-Create React App. So let's fast forward until the installation is completed. Now the installation is completed, we can change directory to Hello Create React App, and if I type in yarn start, that will run a script that will start our project in the browser and open our default browser with the project. What it does, it creates us a local server on port 3000 and start the project. And bravo, you can see that the project is created and running successfully on our local machine. Now if you go back into terminal, you can stop that server by hitting Control-C, that stopped it, or you can run it again by typing yarn start, and that will start that project over again using the script that already built into this project. Congratulations! You just created and published Create React App on a development server. The React project includes all the libraries that comes with the Create React App out of the box. We can import our project into Visual Studio. Click on Add Folder and choose on our desktop Hello Create React App and add. That will add the project into our IDE and you can look at all the files. Now, React is a single page application, and normally we would need to write a script that will combine our files into one file or chunk. If you type in the browser view source, we can actually look at the source code of our application, and it already includes two files that are making our single page index.html page. Those files called bundle.js and chunk.js. This is done because Create React App is using Webpack and Bevel to pack our file into a single index.html page, and it may generate other files as well as needed. Create React App is using Webpack module bundler out of the box. Webpack is an open source JavaScript bundler that is using loaders to bundle our files and create static assets. If you go to yarn or npm and type in Webpack, you can see the Webpack library and you can see the changes and more information about what it does. So when we type the command yarn start, the scripts initiate an npm script that creates for us a development environment. The script caches our files in memory and serves them when we navigate to the URL. 10-foot view that illustrates what Create React App is doing using Webpack and Bevel to pack our files into a single index.html page. So when we went and we viewed the source of our application and we checked the file that was created for us, we saw there's three files. There was bundle.js, chunk.js, and main.chunk.js. So if we look at the project again and we view the source, take a look again, we can see three files: bundle.js, 0.chunk.js, and main.chunk.js. So those files are really how Webpack broke down all of our code into those chunks of code to load them faster. And if we add images, whatever we're going to add, more files, it will bundle them together automatically out of the box. The heavy lifting is done inside of our project, inside the folder called Node Modules. That folder includes many of the libraries that are dependencies that our project is using. So if you take a look at the project and you look inside of the Node module folder, you can see all those libraries that doing the heavy liftings and are the dependencies of our project. Now the list of those dependencies we see is of the node modules. We can find them inside a folder called package.json. So if you open up the package.json file, you can see we have here dependencies. Those are the dependencies that the project needs in order to run. That file is used by Node.js. It is the information of our project. It includes all the details about what makes our project, from the version number of our project, to the name of the project, to the libraries that we're using. Now, each dependencies hold the name of the library and a version number. If we check the node module folder, it is full of other developers' libraries. In fact, there's over 1,000 libraries that when we download our Create React app, it took a while to download, depends on your internet connection, because it had to download 1,000 libraries. That is because of all of those dependencies. Now, where are those dependencies coming from? Each library include other dependencies. So if we look again at our package.json file, we have only few dependencies. So where's those 1,000 libraries coming from? So each one of those libraries has also dependencies, and each dependency has other dependency, and that's how we came up with 1,000 libraries out of a short list of libraries that the project depend on. Also notice that in the package.json file, it specifies scripts. So you see we have here a section that specifies scripts. We have a start script, a build, a test, and eject. Now when we run the start script, what happens, it ties it into React scripts. React scripts is a library. So if you open up node module and we search for that React scripts inside of the node module, so if you start typing React script, you can see the folder here. And then if you open it, inside there's a scripts folder. And inside the scripts folder, here's our start. So our project ties using the package.json file into our React scripts library and into a script that's called start. If you go to the Hello Create React app to the node module into our React script, so to go there, you can just you can start typing React-script, and you look inside that library, you can see that there's a package.json file, just as we have in our project. And if you look through that package.json file, you can see we have a bundle dependencies. Look at all those long list of bundle dependencies. Then we also have dev dependencies, and we have optional dependencies. So all those dependencies are used by these libraries. So when we install a library, it can bring many other libraries. That's how 6 libraries end up to over 1,000 in our node module folder. So it is a common practice to create each project a Git Ignore file. That file can include files we want to exclude. In our project, if you open the Git Ignore file, you can see those are all the files that we want to exclude from uploading when we check in our project into our repository. So for example, we're excluding the node module folder. That folder holds 1,000 libraries. So it's the majority of the project folders are inside the node module, and we don't need to check it in with our project. The reason we don't need to check it in, again, because it's listed, all the dependencies and whatever the libraries the project is using are already listed in the package.json file. So that makes checking in project very easy, because you can go in and list all the folders you want to exclude, and that will make starting or downloading a project really quick. We also have a folder in our app called public. It includes, if you open it, you'll see it includes the icon for the app, it includes the index file, it includes the logo, a manifest.json file, and a robot.txt file. So the robot.txt file is instruction to the search engines. This, you can change that. The manifest file is information about our applications and our styles. Our index.html file, that's our landing page, our index page, and then our three images are icons that are listed inside of the manifest JSON file. So if you look at the manifest file, it includes all the icons that comes with the app. Now, if we look at the index file, we can see that there is a code here that says you need to enable JavaScript to run this app. At the same time, what we don't see here is the chunk.js file, the bundle.js file that we saw when we inspected the app in our browser. So what's going on here? The reason is that the npm scripts are generating our index file based on this file, as well as the files that are being generated automatically by those scripts. So if we want to publish our app to production, for example, we would run a different command. We would run the yarn build instead of the yarn start. And different files are going to get generated in a different process, and a script will run. Later on, we're going to publish our app, and then you can actually see that in action. But for now, I just want you to understand the process and see the file and see what's happening. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to download the folder from the tutorial GitHub repository and get it up and running on your local machine. First, you need to navigate to github/eli/elrom/react-tutorials, and then you see a list of all the different tutorials that we're going to be explaining and going over in this course. Now, each folder represents a complete project. So, yes, we can go and download all of them using git commands, or we can just download the project that we need. For example, if we want to just download our starter project, click on the starter project, and that will navigate to the folder with the files for the starter project. Then copy the URL from the address bar, and then go to down-git. You have the URL here. So minus-camel github.io, and then inside there, paste in the address bar the folder that we copy from the address bar, and click create download link. Now we have a download link, and now when we hit download, that will download the file into a zip folder. So if we open up that zip folder, we can double click to unzip it, and then if, for example, I want to create that project in my desktop, I'm going to drag it to my desktop. Then in terminal, I can change directory into the starter project. Now I'm going to do yarn install, and that will install all the libraries and dependencies that are attached to this project. And this process can take a few minutes, depends on your internet speed, but we'll fast forward to the installation complete. Now that the installation is complete, we can look inside of our node modules, and all of the library were imported for us. Now we're ready to start our project. So type in yarn start, and that will create for us a local server on port 3000 using the React scripts start file. And if everything went well, we'll see the project up and running. So we can confirm it in our terminal that it started correctly, and then look in the browser, and here's our project.